Welcome to you all. Hope you are well. In my today's session, I am going to talk about static electricity, chapter 10 for class 9. This video is presented by Muhammad Ashraful Islam, lecturer, Department of Physics, Milestone College. By the end of the chapter, you will be able to measure the electric force by applying Coulomb's force. You can explain the causes of electric field, and you also can explain the direction of electric lines of force, explain the electric potential, and explain the electric intensity, and at last you can explain the relation between electric intensity and electric potential. Let's have a look. Electric force. In that figure, you can see here two opposite nature charge are attract to each other. That force is called force of attraction. And in the second figure, you can see here two same nature charge will repel to each other. That force is called repulsive force. So the electric force have two types. One is force of attraction, another is force of repulsion. Now let's talk about Coulomb's force. Coulomb force depends on the quantity of the charges, the distance between two charges, and the nature of medium between the two charges. How Coulomb force depends on that quantity? The Coulomb force is proportional to the quantity of charges. That means if the charges becomes double, or if the charges is increased, then the Coulomb force will be increased, and if the charges is decreased, then the Coulomb force will be decreased. And the relation between Coulomb force and the distance is inversely proportional. That means if the distance between two charges is increased, then the Coulomb force will be decreased, and if the distance between two charges is decreased, in that case the Coulomb force will be increased. And it also depends on the medium. Suppose you will explain the electric force between two charged body in air medium. In that case, the Coulomb force is not equal to the Coulomb force when you experiment that two charged body into the water. Let's have a look. The Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law is the force of attraction and repulsion between two point charges in a particular medium is proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Here in the figure you can see the two charges, one is Q1, another is Q2, and the distance between the two charges is R. That two charge is the point charge, and the Coulomb's law is the force acting between the two charge, which is F, is proportional to the product of the charges. Here you can see force is proportional the product of two charges, and the force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. And if you mark that equation 1 and this is equation 2, and by combining that two equation we can write F proportional Q1 into Q2 divided by R square. If we remove proportional sign, then we can write a constant which is C. Here C is a Coulomb constant which has a fixed value 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. In replace to the Coulomb's constant, we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here epsilon naught is the permittivity in vacuum, whose value is 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12, and unit is Newton inverse meter inverse 2 and Coulomb square. If we put the value of epsilon naught, 4 and pi, then we will get the value of Coulomb constant is 9 into 10 to the power 9, and the unit will be Nm square C inverse 2, which is exactly opposite to the unit of permittivity in vacuum. And in that formula, the Coulomb force F depends on two quantities, which are charge and the distance between the two charge. Here the amount of charge is Q1 and Q2, distance is R. Now I am going to talk about unit of Coulomb's constant. From Coulomb's law, we can write Coulomb force F equal to C Q1 Q2 divided by R square. If you want to calculate the unit of Coulomb constant C, then we can write the equation in that way: C equal to F R square divided by Q1 into Q2. Putting the unit of force, distance and charge, we can write here C equals to N m square C into C. Here the charge, unit of charge is Coulomb and unit of second charge is also Coulomb. So multiplied the C and C, we can write here C equal to N square C square. And finally we can write the unit of Coulomb constant is C equal to N square C inverse 2. Now what is 1 Coulomb charge? 1 Coulomb charge means when two equal and similar charges are placed at a distance of 1 meter in vacuum, they will repel with a force of 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton. That means if two similar and equal charge is placed in vacuum at a distance of 1 meter, then they will feel 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton force. We know Coulomb force F equal to C Q1 Q2 divided by R square, and for the similar charge we can write Coulomb force F equal to C Q square by R square. Here Q1 and Q2 is equal, though the amount of charge is equal, so we can write here Q1 equal to Q2, and if we put Q1 equals to Q in the equation, then we can write C Q into Q divided by R square, and the multiplication of same quantity we can write square, so the equation of Coulomb force becomes C Q square by R square. Now we will try to calculate the value of Q. So if we changing the position of the quantity, then we can write here Q square equal to F R square divided by C. And now from the given information, if we put the value of F, R and C in that equation, then we can write Q square equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton 1 meter square divided by the value of Coulomb constant is 9 into 10 to the power 9 Nm square C inverse 2. After calculation we can write 1 C square. Now we have to calculate the value Q. That is why we can write Q equals to 1 Coulomb. That is the answer. What is 1 Coulomb charge? Hope you have understood. Now I am going to talk about two comprehensive based question which is very important. The first question is, if the charges becomes double keeping the distance constant, then what change of Coulomb force will be occurred? That means from Coulomb's law we can write F equal to C Q1 Q2 by R square. Now here in the question we have to calculate the force when the charge becomes double. That means Q1 will be double. So we can write here Q1 equals to 2 Q1 and Q2 equals to 2 Q2. But distance, the charges will be constant. That means there is no change of R. R will be constant. So if we calculate the equation, then we can write 2 into 2 4. The result of F prime will be F prime equal to 4 into C q1 q2 by r square. C q1 q2 by r square, which is the value of force. You can see here F equal to C q1 q2 by r square. So we can write C1 q2 by r square replace of F. Then we can write here F prime equal to 4F. That means if the charge becomes double keeping the distance constant, then the force will be 4 times than before. Now question 2. If the distance between the two charges becomes half keeping the charge constant, then what change of Coulomb force will be occurred? In that case we have to calculate the Coulomb force again, but when the distance becomes half but amount of charge will be equal. So we can write from the Coulomb's law here Coulomb force F equal to C q1 q2 by r square. In that case we have to write r equal to r by 2 because the distance of the charges becomes half, and if we put the value of r equals to r by 2 in that equation, then we will get a new force. So we can write here F prime, and the formula of F prime will be F prime equal to C q1 q2 by r by 2 whole square. Here the amount of charge is equal, that means q1 and q2 will be equal, and if we calculate then we can write here F prime equal to 4 C q1 q2 by r square, and the value of C q1 q2 by r square is F. So from the above calculation we can write F is the 4 times than the F. That is why we can say if the charge becomes half, then the Coulomb force will be 4 times than before. Let's talk about electric field. You can see here a figure. In that figure there is a charged body A, and there is another charged body which is being from the outside near to that charged body A. In that case the charged body will repel again. Because of why? Because there is an electric field of the charged body A. Due to the electric field, the charged body will repel to the another charged body. So what happens if the charged body is bringing into the area of the body A? The charged body will be repelled, and the area through which the influence of the charged body is exist, in that area is called electric field. Out of the electric field, that charged body A cannot influence any charge. That means the charged body A cannot attract or cannot repel any other charged body. So here what is called the area of the charged body A? It's called electric field. So the definition of electric field is the area of a charged body in which the influence of the charged body exists is called electric field. And out of the electric field, the any place we can say that is infinity. Now we'll talk about electric intensity. Electric intensity is, the definition of electric intensity is, if a unit positive charge is placed at any point of electric field, then the force that is acquired is called electric intensity. It is denoted by E. And you can see the figure, there is a positive charge and it has an electric field, that is the electric field, and into the electric field the charged body A get influenced to the other body. And if you try to bring a positive charge, you can see here a person bring a charge and he will experience a force Fe. Let's see again. The charge will experience a force from the body A, and that force is called electric intensity. Suppose the body takes positive 1 coulomb charge from outside to the electric field, and it will get F amount of force. So the electric intensity will be E equal to F by Q. That is the formula to calculate the electric intensity. Here F is force, which unit is Newton, Q is charge, which unit is coulomb, and if you put the unit of force and charge in the equation of electric intensity, we can write the unit of electric intensity will be Newton per coulomb. Let us discuss the relation between electric intensity, charge and the distance. That means there are another formula of electric intensity. Let's talk about it. First, the formula of electric intensity, E equal to F by Q. Here F is the force. If we consider the coulomb force, then we know coulomb force F equal to C Q1 Q2 by R square. And if we write the coulomb force for the similar charge, then we can write F equal to C Q square by R square. Here the value of first charge and second charge is Q. Then we can write F equal to C Q square by R square. Now if we put the value of A in the equation of electric intensity, then we can write E equal to C Q square by R square divided by Q. And after calculation, we can write E equal to C Q by R square. That is another formula to calculate the electric intensity. This formula is used to calculate the electric intensity when you ask to calculate the distance at which the electric intensity will be 0. Let's have a look. The electric field intensity in an electric field is 10 Newton per coulomb. It means if 1 coulomb positive charge is placed at any point of electric field, then the 1 coulomb charge will experience 10 Newton force. And if we write the formula of E, we know E equal to F by Q. The value of F is 10 Newton and the value of charge is 1 coulomb. After calculation, we can write here E equal to 10 Newton per coulomb. Let's talk about electric line of force. Electric line of force is the path of free positive charge that moves in the electric field. Michael Farad introduced electric lines of force to get an idea about electric field. If a positive charge is placed in an electric field, it would experience a force. If the charge is a free one, gaining this force instead of remaining stationary, it would have to define path. And you can see the figure, the photo of Michael Farad is given here, and how an electric field is produced. You can see here a positive charge, and what is emerged uniformly from the surface of the charge perpendicularly, that is the electric line of force. It is an imaginary line, actually it has no real existence. And electric line of force is used to measure the electric intensity and to explain the direction at a point in an electric field. And in that figure you can see a negative charge body, and you can see here also something get in from the all side towards the charge. That is also electric line of force. Now I am going to discuss the properties of electric lines of force. Let's have a look. The properties of electric line of force. The first properties is electric line of force is a open curve. Second, two lines of force never intersect to each other. electric line of force originate from a positive charge surface and terminated on the negative charge surface. And finally, electric intensity increases where electric line of force are concentrated more, and if electric intensity is less, their concentration of the lines of force is less. No electric line of force originates or terminates in the same conductor. Now we'll all the thing in the figure. Let's have a look why an electric field intensity becomes higher and lower. You can see here two charged body, and the first charged body you can see the electric line of force, and the second figure the electric line of force is not same. The gap between electric line of force in the first charge is less than the second charge. So we can see the intensity will be more in the second charge. Here is the question, whether the electric lines of force is equal in the both charges. No, the electric line of force in the both charges are not equal. And another question is, in which charge the electric field intensity will be more? We must say in the second charge the electric field intensity will be more, because electric field intensity depends on the concentration of the electric line of force. In the second charge, the gap of the electric line of force is less. That means there the concentration of electric lines of force is more. So here electric intensity also more. And the first charge, the concentration of electric line of force is less. So here electric intensity will be less. Hope you have understood. Now the next topic is why the same nature charged body repels to each other. We know the same nature charged body will repel to each other. Let's know how. You can see the figure, there a positive charge, the electric line of force act towards outside of the charge, and here is another positive charge which electric line of force also moves away from the charge. And when we bringing that two charge very close, then we can see here the electric line of force does not intersect to each other. In that case, the two similar nature charges will repel to each other, because the electric line of force does not intersect to each other. Here is the question, where the electric lines of force intersect to each other, whether the electric lines of force intersect to each other. Answer is no, electric line of force never intersect to each other. And the next question is, if a test charge is placed at the neutral point, then whether the test charge can feel any force or not. Here you can see that is the neutral point. In that point, the no electric line of force intersect. That point is called neutral point, and if you placed a test charge in that neutral point, that the charge will not feel any force, because if the two charge body will apply same amount of force of that charge from that opposite direction, the resultant force will be 0. That is why the neutral point will not get any force from the two charges. Why the opposite nature charge attract to each other? In the figure you can see here a positive charge and negative charge. The two opposite charges will attract to each other, that is called attractive force. In our earlier presentation we have learned the two opposite nature charge will attract to each other. Now have a look how it will attract to each other. First, if you see the electric lines of force, then the electric line of force generated from the positive charge, here the electric line of force generated from the surface of the positive charge and terminated at the surface of the negative charge. That is why the two opposite nature charge will attract to each other. We cannot get a neutral point between the two charges. If we placed a test charge in between the two charges, then the test charge will not stationary and in the middle between the two charges. It will move outside of that two charge. That means we cannot get a neutral point between two opposite charge. That is why the two opposite charge will attract to each other. Let's talk about electric potential. The amount of work done to bringing a unit of positive charge from from infinity to any point of the electric field is called electric potential. It is denoted by V. That means if you want to carry a unit positive charge and placed into the electric field, then you have to do some work. That is called electric potential. Let's have a look. A presentation here. A positive charge is given, and positive charge has an electric field. And if you want to bring a positive charge, you can see here a positive charge is bring from the infinity to the electric field. In that situation, the body have to done some work to bringing the unit of positive charge from infinity to the electric field. If you consider the work done by the body is W and the bringing charge is Q, then the potential will be V equals to W by Q. And we can write here the formula. If W amount of work is done to bring Q amount of charge from infinity to any point of electric field, then the formula will be V equals to W by Q. Here W is the work done, which unit is joule, Q is charge, which unit is second. And if we put the unit of work done and charge in the formula of electric potential, then we can write the unit of electric potential is joule per coulomb. There is another unit of electric potential which is volt. Let us talk about the relation between electric potential, charge and the distance. It is another formula of electric potential. We know the formula of electric potential is V equal to W by Q. Here W is the work done. The formula of work done is W equal to Fs, but we will write here F into R, because R is the distance between two charges and F is the force, and we know the Coulomb force F equal to CQ1 Q2 by R square. And if you want to write the force for similar charge, then we can write F equal to CQ square by R square. For similar charge, the amount of first charge and second charge is equal, so we can write F equal to CQ square by R square. Now if we put the value of F in the formula of V, then we can write V equal to CQ square by R square into R divided by Q. If we vanish the R and R, Q and Q square, then we can write V equal to CQ by R. That is the formula to calculate the electric potential. In that formula, V is depends on two quantity, which is Q and R. See here, C is the constant and charge is proportional to the potential, and R is inversely proportional to the potential. There is a question, what do you mean by electric potential of an electric field is 100 volt? It's a very important question. It means 10 joule work is done to bring 1 coulomb of positive charge from bringing infinity to any point of electric field. If you want to calculate, then we write the formula of V equals to W by Q. The W is given 100 joule and 1 coulomb charge is given here, so the result of electric potential will be 100 volt. Now we'll discuss the relation between electric potential and electric intensity. First, we know the formula of electric potential is V equal to W by Q, and if we write the formula of work done W equal to F into R, then we can write V equal to F into R divided by Q. And if we separating F by Q from that equation, then we can write here v equal to F by Q into R. Similarly, we know the electric intensity E equals to F by Q. If we put the value of F by Q, then we can write V equals to E into R. Replace of F by Q, we can write here E, and R, the formula of electric potential, V equals to E into R. If you want to write E, then the formula of E will be V by R. That's the relation between electric intensity and electric potential. Now I am going to some important information on the topic of electric potential. It will help to solve mathematical problem. The first thing is, if you connect two charged body A and B by a metallic wire, then in which direction the charge will flow? Here the two charge A and B is given here, and if we connect the charged body by a metallic wire, then in which direction the charge will flow? We cannot say in which direction the charge will flow by seeing the amount of charge. We have to know what is the voltage of the 2 points. If we consider the A point voltage has 100 volt and B point voltage is 50 volt. In that case electricity will flow from higher voltage to lower voltage, but the charge will flow from lower voltage to higher voltage. Let us see another figure. In that figure there are two cylinders. In the first cylinder A, the cylinder is narrow, but the level of water is more. But the second cylinder is wider, but the water level is higher. The amount of water in the second cylinder may be more than the first cylinder. If we open the screw, then what will happen? In which direction the current will flow? Let us see the question. If the cork is open, then in which direction the water will flow? In that case, though the amount of water is more in the wider cylinder, but here the density of water in cylinder A is more. So if we open the cork, in that situation the water will flow from A cylinder to B cylinder. That means current or electricity will flow always higher potential to lower potential. In that case, A cylinder has potential more than the B cylinder. Let us see in which direction the water will flow. You can see here, from A water will flow B, and how much time the water flow? When the water level of the two cylinder will be equal, in that time the water flow will be stopped. Now have a look the important question, which is why the potential of the earth is considered zero. The potential of the earth considered zero because earth is electric conductor. When a charged body is connected to the earth, it becomes electrically neutral. Here you can see a earth ground. When we connect a positive charged body to the earth, then from the earth a negative charge comes towards the body and the body will be neutralized. And if you connect a negatively charged body towards the earth, in that case the electron will move towards the earth and the body will get neutral. And earth is so big that if a charge is added or taken away from it, its potential does not change at all. Likewise, if a water taken away from sea or pond, in the water level does not change. The earth is always taking charge from the different bodies. Simultaneously, it supplies charge to the other bodies. Hence, earth is considered chargeless. To determine the height of a place, the height of the sea level is taken as 0. Similarly, to determine the potential of a body, the potential of the earth is taken as 0. Hope if you have understood. So our today's homework definition on our today's lecture. The definition is electric force, Coulomb force, electric field, electric intensity, electric line of force, and at last electric potential. Comprehensive based question. What do you mean by electric intensity 100 Newton per Coulomb? Second question is, what do you mean electric potential 220 volt? Third question is, why the electric potential of the earth is 0? Fourth question is, write the properties of electric lines of force. And finally, fifth question is, if the charge becomes half keeping the distance unchanged, then what change of Coulomb force will be occurred? Thank you being with me.